Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about perfumes that give off a whimsigoth, if you will, kind of vibe. I've been seeing this term floating around all over TikTok recently. I didn't know there was a term for it. I've always loved this sort of style, which I feel like is maybe a mixture of bohemian, witchy, whimsical, fairy kind of vibe. Now, apparently it has a name. Social media likes to put names for everything. Like every makeup look, everything has a name now. So if you're into the whole witchy goth sort of aesthetic, then you would love this video because these perfumes all give off that vibe. And this was also pretty requested. I did a video on more ethereal, boho, cottagecore kind of fragrances, which I'll link up here. And in the comments of that video, I got a few people asking if I could do sort of more of a dark, witchy goth sort of aesthetic. So that's what this video is gonna be. All these perfumes have a really dark, seductive, sexy, whimsy goth sort of vibe to them. These are perfumes that have lasted in my collection for a long time and through many declutters, which I tend to do a lot of. I kind of just get bored of perfumes really fast, but some of these perfumes have been with me for like 4+ years or more. They're just key staples, and I also love that they technically fall within this vibe. Not that it matters, but it's just a fun little vibe to talk about. With all that said, let's get straight into it. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. Okay, so I think it would be a crime if I didn't start this video off with Guess Seductive Noir. This is a classic. This is a scent that I've had since the start of my channel, and I know a lot of you have found me through this perfume. This perfume is incredible in pretty much every way that you can think of. The price point, first of all, it's $15, 1-5, which is insane considering the scent. I know if you think about a perfume that's $15, you probably think of something that smells super cheap. Not this one. I'm really happy that they haven't figured out the fact that they have given us a niche perfume at this price point. This is a very underrated perfume that not many people really know about or talk about. The amazing appeal of this fragrance needs to be studied. There is something so intoxicating in this. Every woman needs this. Even if you're not into the whole whimsy goth, witchy aesthetic, doesn't matter. If you want something sexy, seductive, if you want to lure your man in on a date night, this is a scent you pull for. It's very difficult to describe this scent because it's a very smooth, well-blended, refined scent. Nothing stands out to the nose too much, which is a good thing considering this scent has more edgy kind of notes. It has top notes of sage, bergamot, peony, so it's kind of like starting off a little tame apart from the sage, which can be a little stronger, but then it does get deeper. So we have middle notes of iris, jasmine, sambac, lily of the valley, and base notes of vanilla, Haitian vetiver, and suede. You might get a little scared from the base note. I definitely was, because I'm not really a huge fan of suede, overly leathery, animalic kind of scents. This is not that. This doesn't even smell like suede to me. Maybe it's adding on to the whole dark aesthetic of the scent, but it's not suedey. It doesn't smell leathery at all. Like I said, it is the smoothest blended fragrance that I have ever smelled in my life. You need to smell it, get your hands on this. This definitely will give you that whole whimsy goth dark type of vibe. This video, as always, has a mixture of different price points. So this next perfume is a little bit more higher up, not quite niche level. It is a designer perfume, so it retails for a little bit over 100. Obviously depends on which size you get, but the OG classic original Alien perfume, I feel it perfectly embodies the whole whimsy goth witchy aesthetic. It's super dark and sexy, seductive, mysterious. This is jasmine done in the most seductive, sexy, dark way. It's not like a fresh, bright jasmine floral scent. It's more of a dark, deep jasmine, and the jasmine is also accompanied by cashmere and amber, so it's super smooth, much like the Guess Seductive Noir scent. This is a classic perfume. There's also something a little bit spicy about it. It just never gets old for me. I love this scent. I always have, and I know this is a pretty polarizing one. You either love it or you hate it. I've always loved it. I've grown up on this scent, so it's pretty nostalgic to me as well, but even apart from that, I'm just heavily obsessed with Alien, and it's a scent I get compliments on a lot, which kind of blows my mind every time I get a compliment on this, because I know that a lot of people don't like this, but then every time I wear it I get compliments of people telling me I smell amazing. Another extremely sexy scent, I didn't do this on purpose, but like all of these perfumes have a very dark look to them. That's not the only reason why I picked these. I picked them because they smell really dark and sexy. But Le Rêve by Once Perfumery, this is another stunning scent. This is a sweet, candied, fruity, grapey type of scent. There's no grape note in here, but it does have a pretty heavy dose of tuberose, which gives off the whole grapey, candy kind of scent. It's pretty sweet, but again, done in a very dark way. This has top notes of peach, peony, pink pepper, freesia, middle notes of tuberose, orange blossom, jasmine sambac, and base notes of vetiver and patchouli. Someone described this as the scent of a lustful adulteress, which is very oddly specific, but I would kind of have to agree because it's just so raunchy and sexy, seductive, really reels you in. It's a very mysterious scent, super rich, has a lot of depth, and almost borderline jammy, I would kind of say. So yeah, this definitely perfectly falls into the aesthetic, and it is a niche fragrance, so it does have that unique quality to it. I don't have any perfume like it in my collection. Another big favorite of mine, this is Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez. This smells like Turkish delights done in a sexy, dark, mysterious kind of way. I normally don't like heavy rose scents, and I've been pretty vocal about the whole Narciso Rodriguez line and about how their scents don't really appeal to me too much, because I do find a lot of the scents in this house more mature smelling, heavy on the rose, really musky. But this one, even though it has musk and rose in the name, something about the noir aspect really reels me in. This is super sweet. Another scent that's very jammy. I tend to really just love jammy kind of scents because they're just super deep and rich and just give you a lot of depth. And the jamminess in this comes from this delicious sweet plum note that's in this. This is also accompanied by pink pepper, so it's a little spicy. It has bergamot in the top notes as well. Not really getting that, to be honest. Middle notes of musk, rose, tuberose, and then base notes of vanilla. Just super sweet, heavy dose of vanilla, jammy, plummy, syrupy rose jam kind of a fragrance. Another one definitely for the whole witchy Whimsigoth aesthetic. I'm gonna stop saying that because that's the whole point of this video. That's what all these perfumes are. The next scent, going out, clubbing, date night kind of scent. This is Jimmy Choo I Want You Forever. This is the flanker to the original. That one was a lot more floral and a little bit lighter. This one was definitely darker, feels darker, smells darker. And this is all about a dark cherry note, but also mixed with a nice almond scent. So this has top notes of bitter almond, rose, middle notes of cherry, jasmine, vetiver, and base notes of vanilla, tonka bean, amber, and oak moss. A lot of the notes I'm finding in this video that give off this dark vibe have vetiver in them, so I think this note is just what gives off a sexy, mildly earthy kind of scent. Not dirty earthy. This is a lot more floral than all the other ones. Another one that I wanted to include in this video, but I feel like it would have been really repetitive, was Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, but I decided to include this one instead because to me these smell very similar. Not dupes, but very similar. But the cherry vibe of this one is just, again, jammy, very deep and rich, and so I picked this one over Good Girl, but that's another one that I would say falls into this aesthetic really well. Something about that cherry in this one, ooh, it's ultra sexy, let me tell you. There's something borderline masculine about this one as well, which anything that gives off a masculine vibe in a more like feminine scent, I think it just makes it 10 times more sexy. I just love that vibe in perfumes. This is just a really nice cherry vanilla, deep dark, again very jammy. Cherry is a really nice note in perfumes, but it's a note that tends to be very repetitive in the way it's done in a lot of perfumes. I've said this in so many videos, but it seems like every cherry perfume that comes out smells like some sort of variation of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, and with I Want You Forever, that does not smell like that at all. The cherry in it is so unique, and it definitely strays from that DNA completely, so I very much appreciate that, but still gives off a dark cherry vibe. Next, this one is absolute love potion, gothic, dark, delicious scent. This is Diesel Loverdose Red Kiss. Pretty much, I feel like all the perfumes in the Loverdose line give off this vibe, but specifically the Red Kiss one. I mean, it's the only one I've tried, but I feel like even looks-wise, this is just, it's stunning. It's like a love potion. This would just make everyone fall in love with you. This has praline. It has this cocoa scent to it, so it's rich, chocolatey, along the same lines of Black Opium, but honestly a better version of it, coming in at half the price point. And it also doesn't have coffee, so it doesn't have that bitter coffee element. This has cacao pod, it has hazelnut, black currant, not to be repetitive, but jammy, very jammy. This has sugar, so it's very sweet, but in a very dark way. Even though it has more gourmandy type notes, it's not gonna make you smell like cake. There's still a very sexy, perfumey quality to it. Super sweet, chocolatey, creamy, a little bit fruity, but everything is done in a dark way, not light, fresh fruity. Almost smells a little caramelized. This is a really nice one if you're into more of a sweet, almost leaning on gourmand scent, but won't make you smell like food. And then the last scent that I have that fits this aesthetic, Black Opium, but specifically Le Parfum. I feel like Black Opium, the original, would fit this as well, but my favorite is the Le Parfum version because of the high dose of vanilla that's in here. I don't think I have any other perfume that has as much vanilla as this does. This has 4 separate notes of vanilla in it, and I feel like that's the most vanillas that I've seen in one singular perfume. This is top notes of pear, cinnamon, green mandarin, middle notes of jasmine sambac, solar notes, orange blossom, and base notes of Madagascar vanilla, urban vanilla, vanilla absolute, coffee, vanilla orchid, and patchouli. This smells like a rich, sexy cappuccino to me with a heavy dose of vanilla sweet cream cold foam. So freaking delicious. Along the same lines of a Jean Paul Gaultier La Belle, but a much darker, deeper, richer form of it. La Belle is a little bit more on the pear and it smells a bit more gourmand. It smells like a caramelized apple pie, whereas this is not as pear, not as fruity. Definitely goes straight into the darkness. The vanillas you can smell in this more than anything. This is just a more intoxicating version of the original, deeper, darker, richer, better. That is it for all of my Whimsigoth aesthetic type of perfumes. I love this aesthetic. I love this vibe. I want to smell like this. I want to look like this. My fashion is inspired by this, especially now coming into the fall. I felt like this would be a perfect time for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know any more recommendations for a Whimsigoth aesthetic type perfume in the comments down below. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.